UV-driven degradation is one of the slowest yet most inevitable failure mechanisms in automotive coatings because it is governed by cumulative energy exposure rather than discrete events. Unlike corrosion or mechanical damage, UV degradation progresses invisibly for years before crossing a threshold where clear coat breakdown becomes rapid and irreversible. Sunlight contains ultraviolet radiation energetic enough to break chemical bonds within organic polymers. Clear coats are the primary line of defense, absorbing and dissipating this energy to protect underlying layers. However, every absorption event slightly damages the polymer network. Over time, this molecular-level damage accumulates and weakens the coating structure. The first stage of UV degradation is chain scission. Polymer backbones are broken into shorter segments, reducing molecular weight and mechanical integrity. This manifests as a gradual loss of flexibility and impact resistance. At this stage, appearance may still be acceptable, masking the ongoing chemical damage. As degradation progresses, oxidation reactions accelerate. UV energy generates free radicals that react with oxygen, forming oxidized polymer fragments. These reactions increase polarity and surface roughness at a microscopic level. Gloss reduction begins as light scatters from an increasingly uneven surface, even before visible chalking occurs. Crosslink density strongly influences degradation behavior. Highly cross-linked clear coats resist early gloss loss, but suffer brittle failure once degradation reaches a critical point. Less cross-linked systems degrade more gradually, but may lose hardness and mar resistance earlier. OEM formulations carefully balance these behaviors to achieve controlled, predictable aging. Pigments and metallic flakes beneath the clear coat influence UV stress distribution. Dark colors absorb more energy, raising surface temperature and accelerating chemical reactions. Metallic and pearlescent systems reflect some radiation, but introduce complex light paths that can create localized hot spots within the clear coat. Additives play a decisive role in delaying degradation, but cannot stop it entirely. UV absorbers capture high-energy radiation and convert it into harmless heat, while hindered-amine light stabilizers interrupt free radical reactions. Their effectiveness depends on concentration, compatibility, and long-term retention within the clear coat. Migration, leaching, and consumption over time reduce protection. Environmental factors amplify UV damage. High ambient temperatures accelerate oxidation kinetics. Acid rain and atmospheric pollutants catalyze surface reactions. Repeated wet-dry cycling washes away degraded polymer fragments, exposing fresh material to further attack and leading to progressive thinning of the clear coat. Clear coat breakdown becomes visible when the degraded surface layer loses cohesion. Microcracking forms, allowing moisture and contaminants to penetrate deeper. Chalking occurs as pigment or filler particles are released from the polymer matrix. At this stage, gloss loss accelerates, and repainting becomes the only effective repair. OEM weathering validation is designed to reproduce these mechanisms in compressed timeframes. Xenon arc testing simulates solar radiation and temperature, while combined UV humidity cycling evaluates synergistic damage. Correlation with real-world exposure is critical, as accelerated tests must reproduce degradation modes, not just speed. From a troubleshooting standpoint, UV degradation appears as uniform gloss loss on horizontal surfaces, fading of color depth, microcracking under magnification, and chalky residues after washing. Distinguishing UV-driven failure from chemical etching or abrasion requires careful analysis of exposure patterns and surface chemistry. Corrective strategies focus on durability optimization rather than elimination. Increasing UV absorber efficiency, improving stabilizer retention, optimizing clear coat thickness, and controlling cure balance extend service life. However, no organic coating can permanently resist UV radiation. The objective is to delay failure beyond the vehicle's design life. UV degradation reminds us that clear coats are sacrificial layers by design. Their role is to absorb environmental damage so underlying layers remain intact. When clear coat breakdown occurs late in life, it represents successful durability engineering rather than failure. If you've observed premature gloss loss, chalking, or clear coat cracking under sun exposure, share your observations in the comments. In the next episode, we'll continue into oxidation, chemical etching, and environmental fallout damage, where atmosphere and pollution further challenge coating longevity.